On February 24, Russia launched a full-scale military attack against Ukraine weeks after escalating tensions between the two countries. Anticipating this, the Indian embassy in Kiev, Ukraine, had started contacting Indian nationals residing in the country and started collecting information on those who would require evacuation in case the security situation worsens. This process was initiated more than 3 weeks before February 15, when the embassy started sending on multiple advisories asking Indian nationals to leave the country before war began. However, a lot of them, especially students, had stayed put for different reasons. In fact, when Air India announced special flights for 22nd, 24th and 26th February, there were no bookings. And then the war began, leaving around 16,000 Indians stranded in the war-torn country. As a first step, India took the matter at the highest level, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaking to Russian President Vladimir Putin, conveying his highest priority to ensure the safe exit of Indians from Ukraine. By that time, the Indian Ministry of External Affairs had already started assisting in the evacuation of Indian nationals from Ukraine, with MEA teams being sent to countries which share a border with Ukraine, namely Poland, Hungary, Slovak Republic and Romania. One team was sent to the Zahony border post at the Hungary-Ukraine border. The MEA team in Poland was sent to the Krakowicz border with Ukraine. The team from Slovak Republic went to the Vesne Nemek border village. From Romania, the MEA team headed to the Suceava border with Ukraine. It is important to note that all these exit points are on the western side. It is relatively easier for those residing in the western part of the country to move to these borders. However, it becomes quite a challenge to rescue those located in the central and eastern part, as these areas have been seeing continuous shelling and bombing. This includes the capital city of Kiev as well. In such a situation, the Indian embassy has advised Indians to use nearby railway stations to move out of active conflict regions and move towards the western regions. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi also spoke to Ukrainian President Zelensky and sought facilitation by Ukrainian authorities to expeditiously and safely evacuate Indian citizens. As a result of the highest level intervention, Operation Ganga was formally launched to bring back every stranded Indian from Ukraine. With the Ukrainian airspace closed for civilian aircrafts, safe evacuation channels had to be charted, with Indian embassies in Ukraine and neighboring countries arranging buses to transport the stranded Indians to the borders on the western side. From there, they are being airlifted to Delhi or Mumbai through chartered Air India flights, with the Government of India bearing travel expenses. On the evening of February 26th, the first Air India flight carrying 219 Indian nationals took off from Bucharest in Romania and reached the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in Mumbai. Another batch of 250 Indian nationals were airlifted to Delhi from Bucharest in Romania on the same day. The third flight of Operation Ganga, with 240 Indian nationals, took off from Budapest in Hungary for Delhi on February 27th. As of February 28th, 6 flights have brought back close to 1,400 Indians back to their motherland. It must be noted that prior to the closure of the airspace, 240 people were evacuated from the Boryspil International Airport in Kiev on February 22. The number of stranded Indian nationals is currently estimated to be 15,000. The Air India Boeing Dreamliner flight chartered by the Indian government has a seating capacity of around 250. Considering that an average of 240 Indians are evacuated per flight, it will take around 62 round trips to evacuate all Indians. There have been reports of Ukrainian agencies assaulting Indian nationals and allegedly trying to use them as a leverage against India by putting them in a hostage-like situation. In light of this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called a high-level meeting in which it was decided that 4 union ministers, namely Hardeep Singh Puri, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Kiren Rijiju and General V.K. Singh, would travel to the war-hit region to coordinate the rescue mission. Of particular mention is General V.K. Singh, who has had prior experience in evacuating Indian citizens from war-ravaged Yemen under Operation Rahat. While other countries are fumbling to rescue their citizens, with some even abandoning them, the Indian government has vowed to bring back every stranded Indian to the motherland. Jai Hind.